So what we're going to do is we're going to show you two news clips from a local affiliate in Lexington, Kentucky. The star is Nash Johnson, a young man in Lexington, Kentucky, and he wants an Xbox. All right? And Xboxes are not cheap. So he decides to take matters into his own hands. And here's the fun part about Nash. He's 8. Let's show the first clip.
Nash Johnson, and like a lot of kids his age, he loves video games.
I just want to friend my friends on the Xbox who play the Xbox.
But to buy that Xbox, he needed money. So the elementary schooler from Lexington, Kentucky hatched a plan. Without his mom's knowledge, he filled out a job application for local restaurant Drake's to be a dishwasher.
That had to be the easiest job I knew. Also, I'm very good at washing the dishes.
Even finding a loophole to hide his age.
You said you're under 18, yeah.
Yes. It didn't ask me the actual age, and it didn't ask me when I was born, so I put I was under 18.
His mom was not surprised.
That kid is not afraid to fail. He is a go-getter.
At home, Nash learns how to save, give, and spend using a jar system. But he needed more money in that spend jar if he was going to afford an Xbox.
He's like,
I love this kid. I got to ask, can we look into this story? Because he's got 3 jars, save, give, and spend, and it is eerily familiar to the containers that we sell at RamseySolutions.com for our kids. And my kids have those same containers. I'll bet you $1 million that they're a Ramsey Solutions family, and if so, I want to contact them, and there's more to this story. I just thought of that. All right, now, let's move on. Okay, first of all, did you notice what his mom said? First thing his mom said is, he is not afraid to fail. This is an 8-year-old kid. By the way, fantastic kid, is he not? Doesn't he have a great spirit about him? You can just see it all over. Here's an 8-year-old. And you know what the first thing mom said was, he's not afraid to fail. I locked in on that. And let me tell you something. I've been on this row on podcasts. I've been a guest on a lot of podcasts lately, and people are asking me about quiet quitting all the time and Gen Z and all this kind of stuff. And I always come back to the fact that a lot of these younger kids, and this is our fault, not their fault. I really defend Gen Z and millennials too. I'm Gen X. It's the boomers and the Xers who are responsible for what I'm about to say, but a lot of these Gen Z kids have never failed. Limited failure, to the point where failure has still become super scary, or still is super scary, as opposed to, wait a second, I've been down this road before, it's going to be all right. Well, here's a kid, his mom at 8 goes, the kid is not afraid to fail. Way to go, mom. And one other comment. Smart kid. Smart kid. They say, what's your age? Or age range, whatever it was in the thing. And I love the kid said, they didn't ask me for specifics. He got the loophole. He found the loophole. Hey, I'm under 18. So the story gets better. Let's roll that second clip.
Though Drake's ultimately couldn't give Nash a job, they did invite him to new hire orientation, where they presented him with a Drake's shirt, a name tag, and then the ultimate prize.
So what?
I was like shocked, very shocked.
He was so proud to have got that shirt, but then when Xbox came out, he just it's unreal, and we've really created a great relationship.
Nash even cut the ribbon in an opening ceremony for the restaurant last week.
One day he's going to make somebody one great employee, that's for sure.
But even though Drake's fulfilled Nash's wish, there is still something he wanted.
I wish I had the job in the Xbox. I do have the Xbox, but I wish I had the job.
Now Mark and Nash have a friendship that will last a lifetime.
I wish I had the Xbox and the job. Watch out, world. Nash is coming for you. Love this kid. All right. So this is such a fun story. Kudos to Drake's. By the way, I don't know if you noticed in the very first clip, it showed the application, I think, or whatever that the kid filled out, and it said Drake's. We have a Drake's locally here in Franklin. and it said come to play or come in play or something. The kid's looking at it going, hey man, I want an Xbox. I'll come play, you know? And I love that. And then a good on the local Drakes by giving this kid an Xbox. But I'm going to take this a different direction. Alex doesn't know I'm taking it this direction. And I think it's interesting. Now, this is going to freak some of you snowflakes out. But bear with me. Why couldn't Drake hire that kid? What's the answer? Child labor laws, right? Okay, I get it. Why do child labor laws exist? Why do they exist? To protect children from, obviously some form of slavery, and there's all kinds of that nonsense around the world. I get it. But hold on a second. Those laws are to protect children, all right? Don't you think in 2023, we could all sit down at the table, Democrats and Republicans, and go, no, wait a second. What if a kid wants to work 5 hours a week at Drake's and wash his dishes, and his mom and dad are totally fine with it? Is it? Now, I know some of you are really uncomfortable, and I'm provoking thought is what I'm doing. I'm not saying this should be law, but I'm just saying, wait a second. Stay with me. If that same 8-year-old goes to his neighbor with a lawnmower, stay with me, Alex. I know you're uncomfortable. But if Nash shows up at his neighbor's house with a lawnmower and says, hey, I'd like to cut your lawn. Would you be willing to cut your lawn? Or he says, can I rake your leaves? Or can I scoop the poop out of your backyard? Walk your dog. Hey, wash your dishes. Would anybody be concerned about that? Of course, you guys throw that up on the screen. Here's my point. I just think in this situation, it makes me go, you know what? I wish that the Drake's manager, who had a real heart for this kid, I wish he could go, you know what? You want to earn some money for the Xbox? I tell you what we're going to do. If your mom's cool with it, we're going to have you show up at closing time. Your mom's got to be with you. Your dad's got to be with you. You got to have a guardian, got to have a parent. Listen to me. I'm making sense now. And you can mop our floors. Mom and dad got to be there. Or you can wash dishes after we close, but your mom and dad got to be there. And I'll tell you what, we'll pay you $10 an hour, $12 an hour, what? I wish he could do that. I just think America would be a better place. I agree that parents must be involved and present, and I'm not talking about come on, folks. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But here's an 8-year-old who just was given the very thing that he wanted to go work for, and his first response, I was blown away. I'm happy for the Xbox, but I kind of wanted the job. He's 8. And we got nobody raises an eyebrow if he goes to his neighbor and says, can I scoop the poop out of your yard or rake your leaves or whatever? We go, oh. So why shouldn't an entrepreneur, small business person who wants to support a young kid be able to give them a little taste of work? Now, of course, you're not going to hire this kid all the time, but just a taste. I don't know. I like challenging the process a little bit, because I think when a kid says that, I think the first thing we adults ought to do is go, let's do that. That kid wants to work. Let's find a way to give him a taste. And I think we need more of that. Well, we've got generations right now that they didn't have to work hard for anything until the day came along that they had to actually work. And it's been hard. But I think the harder we work, the earlier we can, the better we are at work and the easier work is. So, well done, Nash Johnson.